Chapter 41. You are listening at Novelful.audio. After dinner, Yang Rui and Renli excused themselves, leaving Wen Jie, who had been subtly instructed by their boss to stay behind, to accompany Jiang Cheng. Hey, relax, Jiang Cheng said, noticing her serious expression. We were cool before, let's just keep it that way. But, it's just that, you're practically my boss now. Wen Jie stammered. So, you're having trouble adjusting, huh? Jiang Cheng chuckled. No biggie. I'm pretty laid back, you don't need to be so uptight. Okay, then. A faint blush crept onto Wen Jie's cheeks, but she met Jiang Cheng's gaze and nodded firmly. That's the spirit, Jiang Cheng said with a smile, leaning against the railing by Furong Lake and lighting a cigarette. In the distance, the brightly lit buildings of the Tang Paradise reflected on the water, a shimmering, magnificent sight. By the way, Mr. Jiang, Wen Jie asked, trailing behind him. This is actually my first time in a role like this, so, if I mess anything up, I hope you'll. First, find me an office. Jiang Cheng cut her off, he exhaled a puff of smoke, tapped the cold railing, and continued, then, set up a capital investment company. After that, get a stock trading team together ASAP. The most important thing is that they have to be honest and reliable. Skills come second. Got it? Yeah, got it. Wen Jie pulled out a pen and a small notebook, scribbling furiously. As for investment managers and analysts, we can hire them if we find the right people, Jiang Cheng added. And we'll need a receptionist, cleaning staff, things like that. We can figure that out as we go. But, he emphasized, my top priority for every single hire is honesty and reliability. Understand? Okay, I understand. Wen Jie kept writing, then asked, do you have any specific requirements for the office location, Mr. Jiang? Like, size or location? Jiang Cheng considered it. Doesn't need to be huge, just a normal office space will do. And it'd be best if it's close to Jiaodong University. Okay. Alright, that's it for now, Jiang Cheng said. I'll transfer the starting capital the day after tomorrow. Understood. With the tasks laid out, Jiang Cheng's phone buzzed in his pocket. It was Yu Chaomei. He said goodbye to Wen Jie and walked to the side of the road to answer. Hey, handsome, where are you? Han Lisha's sweet voice chirped as soon as the call connected. Okay, Jiang Cheng touched his nose. From junior to Xiao Qingqing, and now handsome. Their relationship was definitely evolving. I'm grabbing dinner, just finished, he replied. Jiang Cheng admired the stunning night view of the Tang Paradise and asked, what's up? What do you think? Han Lisha lowered her voice suggestively. Come be my shield. Quick, in the background, there was a lot of noise, like a party. Alright, give me the address. Lidu Congress, hurry. On my way. About half an hour later, Jiang Cheng arrived by taxi at Lidu Congress. As one of Shijing's hottest nightclubs, Lidu Congress was packed and buzzing with activity. He quickly dialed Han Lisha, who answered after a couple of rings. Hello bro. Han Lisha's voice was even louder than before, surrounded by a crowd. Ah, you're here, right? Without letting Jiang Cheng respond, she continued, okay, I'll be right out, wait for me at the door. Then she hung up. Following Han Lisha's instructions, Jiang Cheng walked to the entrance. Soon, Han Lisha appeared in a black off-the-shoulder dress, strutting towards him on high heels. Behind her was a young man in a casual suit. He was tall and good-looking, but a hint of darkness lurked in his eyes. Jiang Cheng's eyes narrowed as he recognized him. It was Liang Zichao, the rich kid who had aggressively pursued Zhong Xie in his past life. Even though Jiang Cheng was no longer interested in Zhong Xie, that didn't mean he was okay with Liang Zichao. What made it worse was that after winning Zhong Xie over, Liang Zichao had mocked Jiang Cheng, who had chased her for 9 years, more than once in public, completely humiliating him. It was clear that Liang Zichao was a man of low character. Jiang Cheng had no intention of letting go of the personal grudges from his past life. He would bide his time and wait for the right moment. Ah bro, you're here, Spotting Jiang Cheng at the gate, Han Lisha rushed over with a smile. Sha, hold on, Liang Zichao said, hurrying after her, reaching for her hand. What is it, Mr. Liang? Han Lisha, a seasoned pro, pretended not to notice and subtly dodged his touch with her arm. Sha, don't leave yet, hang out for a bit. Liang Zichao said, smiling, oblivious to her maneuver. Yeah Sha, Mr. Liang has a surprise for you today. A group of young men and women who had followed Liang Zichao chimed in. That's right, let's party for a while, otherwise it's too boring. You're the guest of honor today, you can't leave. Hey, don't spoil the surprise. Liang Zichao scolded his friends. There's no surprise today, don't say things like that. I'm so sorry, Mr. Liang. Han Lisha said, feigning reluctance. My family is really strict and they've been calling non-stop. See? They even sent my brother to pick me up. If I don't go back, I'm afraid the next person they send won't be my brother, but my dad. Oh, hearing this, Liang Zichao frowned skeptically, glancing at Jiang Cheng. Hey, bro, what's your name? George Han, Jiang Cheng replied with a smile. Hearing this, the others nodded in agreement. Yeah, hearing the name, you can tell they are siblings. Chapter 42. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. Guess that's that, someone said, seeing the situation was hopeless. Liang Zichao sighed. How about this, Sha, let me give you and your brother a ride. No need, Mr. Liang. Han Lisha politely declined. My dad would flip if he saw that. Alright then. Mr. Liang, you put in all this work, and you're just gonna let her walk away? A young guy with tattoos, following Liang Zichao, asked in a low voice after Han Lisha left. What else can I do? Damn, I just feel bad for you. Think about it, flowers, champagne, the balloons, you even booked a hotel suite. The tattooed guy chuckled, cigarette dangling from his mouth. And it all went down the drain. I feel for you, man. Huh, yeah, Mr. Liang, someone added. The friends around him started laughing. You practically had your pants off, and that's it? Ha. Man, you gotta be simmering inside. You guys don't get it. Liang Zichao wasn't fazed by the ribbing. He watched Han Lisha's retreating figure, stroked his chin, and said with a smile, did you see how strict her family is? I'm telling you, that's how you know she's a pure one, the best kind. You get it? Conquering a woman like that gives you a real sense of accomplishment. Unlike you guys, you're always messing around with the same old tired acts. Yeah, Liang Xiao, you're right, someone said. The tattooed guy laughed. Tired acts or not, I'm still hitting up by Lu tonight. Gotta blow off some steam after this disaster. Ha. Alright, let's go inside, guys. I'll tell Manager Wang to find some young and pretty ones later. Alright. Let's drink up. Party on. Alright, spill it. What was that all about today? After walking a couple of blocks, Jiang Cheng stopped, lit a cigarette, and said, Liang Zichao, son of Liang Zhengtai, the president of Qinzhou Bank, is loaded. You had the perfect opportunity, why did you bail? Heh, looks like you know your stuff, Han Lisha said with a gentle smile. She snatched the cigarette from his hand, took a drag, then casually crossed her left arm over her chest, holding the cigarette in her right hand. She looked elegant and beautiful, like a lady from the Republic of China era. I know Liang Zichao pretty well. Han Lisha smiled. He just wants to get into my pants. He thought I was some naive little girl who'd fall for a bunch of flowers and some sweet talk. He really overestimated himself. So you want to keep him hooked? Of course. Han Lisha poked Jiang Cheng's forehead with a slender finger. You guys are all the same. The more you can't have something, the more you want it. No way, Jiang Cheng said with feigned innocence. I got you, and I'm all about you. I'm always on call. You, Han Lisha puffed out her chest and said proudly, you've only got half. Then I'll keep supporting you, he said. Ugh, that's so lame. You need to work on your pickup lines. Nah, I'm better at other things. Like what? You'll find out later. The night passed without incident. The next morning, Jiang Cheng dazedly opened his eyes and slowly sat up in the soft hotel bed. He yawned, stretched his neck from side to side, and the last of his sleepiness vanished. He turned and looked at Han Lisha, who was still sleeping beside him. Remembering the night before, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but smile slightly. Just as he was feeling pleased with himself, the phone on the bedside table rang. Hello. Jiang Cheng answered in a low voice. Brother Feng, what's up? Oh, Brother Cheng, where the hell are you? Li Xiaofeng's voice was frantic. It's the military training review this morning, and the marching drill is about to start. Instructor Sun is furious because he can't find you. What the hell? Hearing that, Jiang Cheng quickly checked the time and froze. It was already 9:30 a.m. Crap. I was so caught up yesterday that I totally forgot about today. Keep old Sun busy. I'll be there ASAP. With that, Jiang Cheng leaped out of bed, threw on his clothes, and rushed out the door. Hey, where are you going? Han Lisa, half asleep, asked weakly. The only response she got was the sound of the door slamming shut. Damn, he just bailed on me. What a heartless bastard. After muttering that indignantly, Han rolled over and went back to sleep. By the time Jiang Cheng got a taxi back to school, the 4th finance class's marching formation was already marching past the reviewing stand, the air filled with shouts. Ah, crap. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng sighed and covered his face with his hands. He snuck over to where the 4th finance class was supposed to assemble, and by the time Instructor Sun returned with the team, his face was dark when he saw Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng. What's your problem? Instructor Sun lowered his voice and shouted angrily. How dare you be late for such an important performance? No, Instructor Sun, there's been a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? Instructor Sun demanded. Jiang Cheng. Let me tell you, someone as disorganized and undisciplined as you. This kind of behavior, disrespecting our collective honor, I'm reporting you to the department head. You just wait for the school to punish you. No, Instructor Sun, calm down. Li Xiaofeng and Lu Yijie, standing nearby, said anxiously, pleading for Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng is representing our class in the talent show later. If he's upset and doesn't perform well, it'll be even more embarrassing for us. Yeah, Instructor Sun. Lu Yijie, the training squad leader, said in a low voice. Jiang Cheng still has an important mission. How about you give him another chance, let him go on stage and perform well. If he wins an award, wouldn't that be good for our class? That's right, Instructor Sun, give me a chance. Jiang Cheng thumped his chest. I promise to bring honor to Finance Class 4. Consider it my way of making amends, okay? All right. Hearing that, Instructor Sun nodded and said to Jiang Cheng with a stern face, Jiang Cheng, listen to me, you better sing your heart out when you go on stage later. You hear me? Yes, sir. Chapter 43. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. After marching and shouting slogans, the leader gave a long, boring speech. Next up was the freshman class's artistic performance. Basically, every department and class did the same old thing, recitations, choruses, military boxing demonstrations. Nothing original. The repertoire was always defending the Yellow River or Green Flowers in the army, which was enough to make your ears bleed. Finally, it was Finance Class 4's turn. Zhong Xier, carrying a guitar, walked onto the stage. The dull atmosphere that had been hanging over the playground instantly vanished. Even in her military training uniform, with no makeup, her natural beauty shone, and the freshmen went wild. Oh my God! A goddess! I hereby declare her the new school beauty. Any objections from my cabinet? Is it too late to switch classes? The goddess is playing and singing. Finally, something interesting. Everyone was buzzing about it, not just the freshmen, but also the upperclassmen who'd gathered to watch the show. Hello, everyone. Holding her guitar, Jiang Cheng stepped up to the microphone and said softly, I'm Jiang Cheng, a freshman in finance class 4, class of '09. Today, I'll be performing 500 Miles by Hetty West. What song? Hearing the English title, many people looked confused. Li Xiaofeng, who only knew old Qinxiang opera, turned to Jiang Cheng, scratching his head. What's she singing? Some foreign song. Dude, 500 miles, get it? Jiang Cheng said casually, it's a classic American folk song. You've probably heard the melody before. Is it cool? Li Xiaofeng looked at Jiang Cheng on stage with a glimmer of hope. Jiang Cheng, looking as pure as jade, gently strummed the guitar. A beautiful melody filled the air. As the intro faded in, her moist lips parted, and she sang, If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. Her soft voice had a cool, ethereal quality that sent a wave of excited murmurs through the crowd. Jiang Cheng, listening from a distance, nodded approvingly. He knew Jiang Cheng loved folk songs, and 500 Miles was one she had perfected. The melody and the lyrics, full of longing for home, were perfect for students who had just left home for college. The only downside was that an English song felt a bit out of place for a military training performance. Soon, Jiang Cheng finished her song to a round of applause. But as she walked off stage, she looked a little disappointed. She held herself to a high standard and wasn't completely satisfied with the audience's reaction. Our next performer is also from Finance Class 4, the freshman host announced enthusiastically, reading from his script. He'll also be playing guitar and singing. Let's give him a big round of applause. Hoo. Go get Brother Cheng. The guys in Finance Class 4 went wild, especially Li Xiaofeng, Luigia, and Zhu Hao. Do us proud, Brother Cheng. Don't embarrass Finance Class 4. For glory and honor. Jiang Cheng stood up, waved to the crowd, and took Hu Zhihan's guitar. You sure you don't want me to back you up on stage? Get lost. He walked to the stage, adjusted the chair and microphone, and sat down with his guitar. He hadn't had time to change out of his plain white t-shirt and khaki pants after being late, making him stand out against the sea of green camouflage. His good looks caused a wave of excited screams from the girls in the audience. Wow! He's so cute. I'm in love. Hubba. I want to pinch his cheeks. Why didn't I apply to the finance department? When it comes to idol worship, women are on another level. The commotion the girls were making for Jiang Cheng was far louder than the boys had been for Jiang Cheng. Sitting with her classmates, Jiang Cheng pursed her lips. In her mind, Jiang Cheng, while talkative in private, was timid and awkward in big crowds. She considered him a loser. That's why she looked down on him, but ever since he'd arrived in Xijing, he was a different person, confident, cynical, and unrestrained. She couldn't reconcile the Jiang Cheng she knew with the one on stage, and, come to think of it, when did he learn to play guitar? Jiang Cheng frowned, watching Jiang Cheng holding the guitar. He looked like he knew what he was doing. Why hadn't she ever heard him mention it? Whatever. The girl's enthusiasm instantly made many of the boys jealous. Trying to be different. He's just a monkey trying to get attention. Exactly. Look at him, not even wearing his military uniform. Total lack of discipline. I'm gonna wait and see. If he sucks, will those girls still cheer? Listen up, everyone. If he bombs, we're gonna boo him as loud as we can. Deal. Chapter 44. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. Jiang Cheng, guitar in hand, perched on a high stool, a calm expression on his face as he scanned the noisy crowd below the stage. Hey everyone, class of '09. He adjusted the mic, his voice booming. I'm Jiang Cheng from Finance, class 4, '09. Today, I'm gonna play a song I wrote myself. It's called Ordinary Road * Teacher Park in Teacher Han, my bad, star. Whoa, a real original. The freshman went wild. Hold on, that's kinda bold. Ordinary Road. Lame title. Need some work in the naming department. Singing his own song in front of everyone. Dude's got guts. This is interesting. Didn't know the econ department had a musician hiding in the wings. Thought it wasn't just the freshmen buzzing. Even the bigwigs and special guests on the stage perked up. One woman who had been dozing suddenly looked wide awake. Jiang Cheng. He writes songs. Zhong Xier, in the audience, looked just as surprised. When she'd first heard Jiang Cheng's announcement, she thought she'd misheard. Zhong Xier, who'd been learning guitar since she was a kid, had tried her hand at songwriting for years, but nothing ever felt right. Jiang Cheng. This guy, a total amateur, could write songs. The thought struck her as absurd. Knowing Jiang Cheng, if he could actually write songs, he would have been showing off to her forever, right? Why keep it a secret? Was the whole original song thing just a big fib? As Zhong Xier's doubts mounted, Jiang Cheng was getting ready to play. Ordinary Road was a single released by Pooh Shu 5 years in the future. It blew up nationwide thanks to Han Han's movie See You Tomorrow. Thought it was Jiang Cheng's go-to song. He knew every lyric, every guitar chord, like the back of his hand. Time to use the song God card. Jiang Cheng thought, the card worked best with a crowd. And he had a whole college's worth of people right here. Ding. Host uses song God card. Activating now. Feeling prepared, Jiang Cheng cradled his guitar and settled into a comfortable playing position. Ding. Ling Runan's favorability toward host +1, Jiang Cheng, Sigma, surprised face. What the, that he hadn't even started. How could he be racking up points already? And why Ling Runan? How was she even here? He blinked, shook his head, and forced the distractions away. Then, his left hand danced on the frets, his right hand strummed, and the familiar intro notes floated from the guitar. The sound, amplified through the speakers, filled the entire venue. The crowd quieted, focusing on the music. Then Jiang Cheng's voice, smooth and clear, joined the melody. Wandering, on the road. Are you going to leave, Bienvenue? Fragile, proud. That was my appearance. Wow, this intro is actually pretty good. And the lyrics, they're really something. Shoo. Listen. The freshmen traded glances, their faces showing surprise and growing appreciation. Zhong Xier frowned slightly. This is amazing, the style is so confident. He sounds like a pro songwriter. Could it really be his own? Incredible. Jiang Cheng kept singing. The system interface in his mind started refreshing the favorability prompts. Xiao Zhao's favorability to host +1. Shi Shujun's favorability to host +1. Li Min's favorability to host +1. Andy's favorability to host +1. Jiang Cheng was too caught up in the music to notice. He poured all his emotion into the performance. I have crossed mountains and seas. Also passed through the crowds of people. Everything I once had. It all disappeared in the blink of an eye. The song spoke of experience, confusion, struggle, loss, growth, and the passage of time. The freshmen were captivated, crossing mountains and seas, wading through a sea of people. How epic. Having everything, then watching it vanish like smoke. How sad. What a life he must have lived to write those lyrics. The song built to its climax. I was once lost and disappointed and lost all directions. Until I saw that ordinary was the only answer. Those final lines sealed the deal, the carefree attitude, the acceptance of it all. So cool. Awesome. Someone shouted, breaking the silence, and the crowd exploded. OMG. Amazing. He's so hot. That was incredible. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Li Xiaofeng and his crew were speechless, reduced to uttering whoa over and over. Zhong Xier sat frozen, her eyes wide, her mouth agape. Jiang Cheng's lyrics and performance had completely stunned her. She had goosebumps. The level of skill, it's beyond most singer-songwriters. Jiang Cheng, could he be a true talent? But why hadn't he ever told her? Was she just too amateur, too naive for him to even bother? Zhong Xier felt her confidence crumble. watching Jiang Cheng bask in the crowd's adulation, a wave of disappointment washed over her. Chapter 45. You are listening at Mtlnovel Audio. The chorus kicked in. Jiang Cheng was lost in the music. He could feel the crowd going wild, but it didn't faze him. If anything, it just fueled his passion and let him cut loose. I wrecked everything I had, I just wanted to bail, I fell into a bottomless pit, I wanted to fight my way out, but I was stuck. I used to be just like you, just like him, like some weeds pushing through the cracks, desperate, but hungry for something more, laughing, crying, just trying to get by. The morning sun, hitting him just right, gave him this light, golden glow. He tilted his head back a bit, face calm and peaceful as he sang, a little smile playing on his lips. His hand rested on the guitar, his movements smooth and effortless. Up there on stage, Jiang Cheng wasn't just singing anymore. He was like some kid who'd been gone forever, seen the world, and was now back to share his stories with old friends. Keep going. Just keep going. Even if they hand you something. The lyrics now had this feeling of freedom, of rising above it all. The crowd couldn't hold it in any longer. Whether they knew the words or not, they joined in, singing along with Jiang Cheng. Keep going. Just keep going. Even if they take something from you. Keep going. Just keep going. Even if you're gonna miss something. Keep going. Just keep going. Even if you will. I've crossed mountains and seas. And walked through the teeming streets. As the final chorus swelled, the hyped-up freshmen jumped to their feet, waving their arms in time with the music. Voices joined together in a roar that shook the grounds. Again. Let's do it together, Jiang Cheng shouted to the crowd, standing tall. The response was deafening. In that moment, Jiang Cheng wasn't just some cocky freshman anymore. He was a freaking rock star. I've crossed mountains and seas. And walked through the teeming streets. I've asked the whole world. And never got an answer. I'm just like you, just like him, like some weeds pushing through the cracks. This is me in the dark. The only way forward. Damn. Xiaonan. Under the shade of the trees, away from the noise, Lu Na watched the crowd sing their hearts out. Turning to Ling Runan, her face lit up. Jiang Cheng is unbelievable. Xiaonan, why are you crying? You okay? Yeah. I'm fine. Ling Runan wiped her eyes, never taking them off the boy on stage. Nana, you know what? That she squeezed her best friend's hand, whispering. I'm so into him. So into him. I really like him. I've made up my mind, I'll pay whatever price, as long as I can be with him. Xiaonan. Meanwhile, in the finance class 4 section, the energy was through the roof. Lu Xin, sitting quietly in the corner, was a contrast to the excited students around her, but under the brim of her camel hat, her big, bright eyes were locked on Jiang Cheng, filled with a surprise and excitement she usually kept hidden. Time slips away, like this. Tomorrow's already here. Hia. The wind's blowing. The road stretches on. Where did your story end? The last note faded, a whisper of a song ended. With a simple, a cappella line, and with that, Jiang Cheng was done. Silence. For a long moment, the crowd was quiet. Then, like a dam breaking, a wave of applause and cheers exploded from the freshmen. Thanks, everyone. Jiang Cheng held his guitar and gave a short bow. The cheers didn't die down. They kept coming, louder than ever. Unreal. That guy's the real deal. Such stage presence, total natural. Oh my God. I haven't heard a song this good in forever. Lyrics and music are easily as good as, like, Zhou Tianwang. Please. Zhou Tianwang is just phoning it in these days. He couldn't touch this. Encore. Give us another one. In the crowd, Zhong Xier clapped, her face blank, staring at Jiang Cheng on stage like she didn't know him at all. She couldn't connect the boy who used to follow her around, always trying to impress her, with this guy, this confident, talented performer. Zhong Xier had never had a boyfriend, and it wasn't just because she was reserved. She had ridiculously high standards, looks, charisma, talent, class. She wanted it all. And she'd always written off the old Jiang Cheng as some loser, but now, watching Jiang Cheng bathed in the adoration of the crowd, she was seeing someone who actually matched her impossible standards. Ugh, she sighed to herself, had she made a mistake? After the awards and the closing speeches, the 09 freshman military training talent show finally wrapped up. As for the awards, well, no surprises there. First prize went to Finance Class 1 for their stirring rendition of I Dedicate Oil to the Motherland. Second prize to Financial Engineering Class 6 for their powerful performance of Protect the Yellow River. And third prize to International Trade and Economics Class 2 for their heartfelt take on green flowers in the Army. Jiang Cheng's Ordinary Road barely snagged an honorable mention. The drill sergeant, son, had given him hell for it. Before finally letting it go, the freshmen were all complaining, but Jiang Cheng couldn't care less about the results. He wasn't the star of some entertainment novel, was he? After getting away from his excited classmates, Jiang Cheng pulled up the system interface in his head and checked out the effects of the God of Songs card. He skipped past the +1 favorability notifications and went straight to the appearance boosts. Oh, not bad. Seeing the notification that he'd gained 10 points to his appearance, Jiang Cheng grinned. Ding. The system voice chimed in, "Congratulations, host, for successfully triggering a 10-point appearance attribute boost through the God of Songs card. The system will gradually improve the host's overall facial appearance within the next week." Sweet. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but smirk. His looks had jumped from an 80 to a 90, this cute kid had finally made the leap to total heartthrob. Chapter 46. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. Jiang Cheng. Zhong Xier approached Jiang Cheng after the meeting. "Oh, hey there, Miss Popular," Li Xiaofeng quipped before Jiang Cheng could even respond. "What's up with our boy, Cheng?" "It's nothing, really. I just..." Zhong Xier stammered, her voice trailing off. "I just wanted to say, your performance was pretty good." "Huh?" Jiang Cheng was taken aback. "Pretty good what, now?" I just meant..." Zhong Xier's face flushed, her words tumbling over each other. She'd planned to offer comfort and encouragement to Jiang Cheng since he didn't win first place, hoping to smooth things over between them. But she was used to keeping her distance. She'd rehearsed what to say, but the words just wouldn't come out right. "Don't, just because you didn't win." Her voice faded to a whisper. "Huh? What was that?" "Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng." A petite girl suddenly rushed over, squeezing in front of Jiang Cheng with a beaming smile. "Your performance was amazing. I've never heard anything like it live." Zhong Xier's attempt was cut short. It was Ling Runan, tilting her head, hands behind her back, a bright smile on her flushed face. While not as tall as Zhong Xier, and perhaps not quite as striking, Ling Runan's innocent charm and unique grace, combined with her youthful schoolgirl style, a college sweatshirt, plaid pleated skirt, and calf socks, gave her an overall appeal that arguably surpassed Zhong Xier, who was stuck in a plain military training uniform. The contrast was stark, and the usually untouchable Zhong Xier was unexpectedly overshadowed. "Thanks," Jiang Cheng said. Ling Runan's arrival wasn't a total surprise. After all, she had contributed to the boost in his attractiveness points earlier. How deep her feelings for him ran, he wasn't sure. He hadn't wanted to get involved, but life kept pulling him in. "Hey, Xiaonan," Jiang Cheng said, glancing at Zhong Xier who looked a bit deflated. "What brings you to our college today?" "I knew you were performing," Ling Runan replied, smiling and clenching her fist playfully. "So, I came to cheer you on." Jiang Cheng looked suspiciously at her friend, Lu Na, who was standing next to Luijie, exchanging affectionate glances. So, the big oaf who had been single for the last 4 years was finally hooking up this time around. "Since everyone's here, let's grab some food," Jiang Cheng suggested with a smile. "Consider it a thank you." "Sounds good to me." Luijie immediately chimed in. I gotta pass on dinner, I have to get back. Save some scraps for me. The fat guy said before bolting off. Hey, don't bail on us. Li Xiaofeng grumbled. I'm too lazy to be a third wheel. Lu Na didn't say a word, but Ling Runan, standing next to Jiang Cheng, lowered her head shyly, tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, and smiled sheepishly. Okay. Watching Li Xiaofeng and the others leave, Jiang Cheng shrugged. Two beautiful ladies, wanna try the food here at Jiaotong University? Sure. I've heard the cafeteria is amazing, and I'm excited to try it. Let's go. Jiang Cheng started walking, then paused, realizing he'd almost forgotten someone. Zhong Xier, wanna join us? No, thanks. Zhong Xier, back in her Ice Queen persona, replied coolly, turning and walking away without looking back. Okay, let's head out. Yeah, the three of them walked towards the cafeteria, chatting and laughing, unnoticed. Zhong Xier, who had walked away, suddenly spun around. She stared in the direction Jiang Cheng and the others had gone, biting her lip, her face tight. Jiang Cheng, you jerk. You ungrateful player. You're a total chin shimmy. I actually lowered my standards and tried to make amends. And you treat me this way. Unbelievable. After lunch, Jiang Cheng took Ling Runan and Lu Na for a stroll around campus. After a little while, Luigi conveniently lagged behind, and before Jiang Cheng could turn, the rascal vanished with Lu Na. Now, it was just Jiang Cheng and Ling Runan. Wanna grab a drink? The girl was staring at him and smiling like a fool. Jiang Cheng's lips twitched slightly, and he nodded towards the campus cafe. Sure. They walked inside, side by side. Jiang Cheng ordered a pomegranate juice for Ling Runan and an iced Americano for himself. He liked the bitter, cold taste of the iced Americano. It helped keep his mind clear. Jiang Cheng. Ling Runan, who had been quiet until now, took a sip of her pomegranate juice, looked Jiang Cheng in the eye, and asked, Do you have a girlfriend? Huh? Who told you that? Jiang Cheng was surprised and set his coffee cup down. I don't have a girlfriend. But. Ling Runan pouted cutely. I saw you go into a hotel with a really pretty girl last night. Ling Runan's bluntness caught Jiang Cheng off guard. He did book a room near Xiaozhai last night. He got caught. Chapter 47. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. Oh, you mean last night? Jiang Cheng took a sip of his coffee and said without hesitation, Yeah, we checked in, but she's not my girlfriend. Really? She's really not your girlfriend? Hearing this, Ling Runan didn't seem disappointed at all. In fact, a little spark of excitement lit up her face. Why would I lie? Jiang Cheng figured he might as well be blunt. I'm not looking for a girlfriend at all. We're just friends. What kind of friends? Oh, you know. Ling Runan's innocent act confused Jiang Cheng. The kind where we help each other out when we need it. So, you don't hang out much? Why would I? Like I said, we're not dating. If that's the case, then I'm relieved. She brushed some hair behind her ear, a sweet, summery smile spreading across her face. Relieved about what? That she just smiled and winked playfully. Now I don't have any competition. Oh. You wouldn't believe it, she giggled, her eyes crinkling into crescent moons. When I saw you together, I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to go up against Jiang Cheng's girlfriend. I was pretty worried. But now that I know you two aren't a thing, I feel much better. Jiang Cheng was stunned. What was going on in this girl's head? Hey, Xiaonan, Jiang Cheng said, after taking another sip of his latte. What I'm trying to say is. I'm kind of a free spirit, and I don't really want a girlfriend. It would feel like a constraint, you know. He was hoping she would get the hint and back off, but Ling Runan interpreted his words in a whole different way. I get it. Instead of being disappointed, she seemed even more thrilled. You're saying, you're not rejecting me specifically. but that you don't want a serious relationship with any girl, Ling Runan declared confidently. Jiang Cheng, am I right? That's a bit of a stretch, but basically, yeah. Well, isn't that even better, the short-haired girl said seriously. If that's the case, then I don't have anything to worry about. Jiang Cheng was speechless. Jiang Cheng. Ling Runan suddenly stood up and announced loudly, even if you don't want me to be your girlfriend, that's okay. I'll still like you. She probably shouldn't have said that so loud. Her fair face flushed as she realized everyone in the cafe was staring. Well. I gotta go. See you later. She covered her face and bolted out of the cafe. This. Jiang Cheng shivered as he felt the envious and jealous eyes of everyone in the cafe boring into his back. He spit. As Ling Runan fled, a chorus of blessings followed her out. Jerk. Someone's gonna get you someday. After the weekend, the 1-week freshman military training finally ended, a new 4-year college life had officially begun. In the spacious lecture hall, the white-haired professor peered over his glasses and started calling roll. Lu Yijie. Here. Zhu Hao. Yo. Jiang Cheng. Yup. Li Xiaofeng, who was sitting next to him, nodded approvingly at Lu Yijie's perfect performance. He was tempted to skip the next lecture so Lu could nail all 4 tones of pinyin. Over in the men's dorm, room 404, someone was yelling. Oh my god, I'm such a noob. The fat guy with the headset slammed his keyboard in frustration. How are you supposed to level up like this? I keep getting wiped out. If anyone screws up again, they're out of the elite squad. Listen to my command. 3, 2, 1, main tank, heal up. DPS, go all out, the fat guy shouted. Jiang Cheng, sitting in front of his laptop, was busy too. He skillfully liquidated all the shares of Yunnan Mining that he'd been hoarding for a week. Because Yunnan Mining had been on a 6-day winning streak, Jiang Cheng's sell order was snapped up instantly. After accounting for leverage, fees, interest, and other expenses, his total principal and interest amounted to over 11 million yuan. Phew. Looking at the long string of numbers in his account, Jiang Cheng let out a long breath. The foundation of his grand business empire was finally secure. He transferred 3 million yuan to his new account. The first thing he did was to buy the size adjuster from the system store. Ding. The host has successfully spent 1 million yuan to purchase the system product, size adjuster. Do you want to use it immediately? Yes/no, was that even a question? Of course he would use it immediately. Jiang Cheng mentally confirmed the use of the item. Ding. The size adjuster is confirmed for use. From now on, the host has 10 cm of free length, which can be freely adjusted to any part of the host's body. Warning, once confirmed for use, it cannot be revoked or changed. Please be careful. After the system prompt, a translucent panel appeared in front of Jiang Cheng. At the top was the number 10, and below it was a detailed list of body parts, each followed by a small plus sign. Wow, so many options. Jiang Cheng touched his chin and read through the list with great care. Head, eyes, nose. Even nose hair. Armpit hair. Seriously? Are you kidding me? Jiang Cheng grinned, almost losing his grip. In the end, he decided to add 4 cm to his calves, 3 cm to his thighs, and 1 cm to his torso. This would finally bring his height from a regrettable 5 feet 9 inches, 175 centimeters, to a satisfying 6 foot, 183 centimeters, according to dubious research. 6 feet was the perfect height for a man. He wouldn't look awkward being too tall, and he'd be out of the disabled range according to some people online. It was a great deal. As for the remaining 2 cm, that would take care of another small insecurity, just enough to make little Jiang Cheng an even number. Chapter 48. You are listening at Mtlnovel Audio. After nailing the size adjustments, Jiang Cheng lit a cigarette, feeling a surge of satisfaction. Like his improved appearance, the height adjustments would be fully dialed in over the next week. The thought of becoming a legit handsome dude within a week totally made his day. Just as he was basking in the glow, his phone buzzed on the table. Hello, Mr. Jiang. When Jie's soft voice came through the speaker the moment he answered. Got a sec today? What's up? Well, I've scouted out an office space for you. I was wondering when you might be free to check it out. Address. It's not far from your school, Qinyang International Building A, right across from the art school. Okay, I'm on my way. Qinyang International was less than a kilometer from the School of Economics main gate, when Jiang Cheng strolled up to Building A, when Jia was already there, waiting respectfully in a business suit and carrying a laptop bag. Let me fill you in, Jiang Cheng said as they stepped into the elevator. Sure thing. When Jia hit the button for the 26th floor and said politely, the whole space is about 3,200 square feet. It used to be a financial investment firm, so it's pretty much move-in ready. And, following your instructions to register an investment company, I jumped through all the hoops with the relevant department yesterday. All that's left is for you to provide your personal docs and nail down a company name. Not bad, Jiang Cheng said, nodding. Inside, though, he was blown away. Getting an investment company registered is a massive headache, especially without an office address, legal documents, or even during a holiday. Xiaohang's top-tier VIP status was clearly legit. The registered name of the company is Qinfeng Capital, Jiang Cheng said casually, handing over his ID. Gotta keep your ID on you at all times, it's like rule number 1 for players. Qinfeng Capital, got it. The elevator doors smoothly slid open on the 26th floor, when Jia, who had been standing beside Jiang Cheng, carefully put her hand up to stop the door from closing, respectfully letting Jiang Cheng exit the elevator first. That subtle, thoughtful move made Jiang Cheng rate her even higher. He took a good look around the office and nodded in approval. 200 square feet wasn't huge, but it was plenty for now. More importantly, like when Jia said, it was previously a financial company, so the basic office setup was there, and each workstation already had a brand new computer. Oh, right, Mr. Jiang, when Jia said, seeing a hint of questioning on Jiang Cheng's face. Our manager Yang heard you were scrambling to set up the new company, so he arranged for our local Zhaoshan Group equipment supplier to send over a batch of electronic office equipment. Don't worry, everything, including the computers, is top of the line. Cool, thank Manager Yang for me, Jiang Cheng said, giving a slight nod. He walked into the big, glass-walled office at the far end. White blinds covered the glass wall, ready to be raised or lowered whenever. A floor-to-ceiling window took up one side of the large desk. Standing there, Jiang Cheng had a full view of the majestic Shijing South City Wall in the distance, instantly giving him a vibe of world domination. Mr. Jiang, are you happy with the location? It's perfect. Jiang Cheng nodded. Here's the deal. Reimbursements are a hassle. I'll just wire you a lump sum for startup costs. You can use it for everything, but make sure you keep the receipts for the company's finance department. Sounds good. As Jiang Cheng's personal secretary, when Jia wasn't about to say no to that, she immediately pulled her laptop out of her bag and opened the transfer screen. Jiang Cheng waved his hand and zapped over $300,000. Jiang, Mr. Jiang. When Jia was stunned, staring at the extra $300,000 in her account. She figured he'd maybe transfer $50,000 to get by. After all, she had just become his exclusive secretary. Who would have imagined $300,000 right off the bat? Is this guy seriously putting that much faith in me? When Jia felt a rush of emotion, staring blankly at the handsome young man in front of her, that's what you call a true friend, I guess. While when Jia was lost in thought, Jiang Cheng was feeling a bit bummed. After transferring $300,000 to Wen Jia, his system upgrade experience hadn't budged, stuck at 1043101/20000000. Okay, so no loopholes for me, huh? Guess I'll have to wait and see if the $300,000 will trigger anything once Wen Jia puts it to use. Oh, by the way, Mr. Jiang, Wen Jia said, suddenly snapping out of it. I've also shortlisted a few potential hires through a headhunting firm with close ties to Zhaoxing. Would you be free to interview them? Let's do it now, Jiang Cheng said, sinking into the big boss chair behind the desk. Okay, just a sec. When Jia nodded and quickly left the office, before long, she led in 8 people, men and women, and arranged them in the seating area under her direction. Mr. Jiang, here are their resumes. Take a look when you can. Thanks for your hard work. Jiang Cheng took the resumes and scanned them one by one. As a Zhaoxing partner, this headhunting company seemed to have found some solid candidates. Pretty much everyone had at least 5 years of experience, and they'd all worked at big-name companies, so their abilities were probably on point, but skills alone weren't enough. Jiang Cheng needed to figure out who he could trust. He hated getting stabbed in the back by his own people, above all else, so Jiang Cheng was planning to interview all 8 of them, one by one. Having been around the block, meeting countless people, Jiang Cheng knew he could size people up pretty well. Chapter 49. You are listening at Mtlnovel Aud. These 3 are staying. After the interviews, Jiang Cheng handed 3 candidate files to Wen Jia in the office. Jiang Cheng, Sun Jie, Zhang Wan. Wen Jia reviewed the files, a hint of doubt in her voice. Mr. Jiang, with all due respect, these 3 weren't the most skilled applicants, were they? You're right. Leaning back in his chair, hands clasped, Jiang Cheng said casually, the 5 we passed on had great skills, but they either weren't good with people or were too reckless. They'd be fine in the short term, but long term, they're not reliable. He emphasized, holding up a finger, remember, our number 1 priority when hiring is reliability. Without that, even the best skills are meaningless to me. Understood. As for the 5 who didn't make the cut, give them each 200 yuan. Jiang Cheng paused. Call it a heat wave bonus. It's brutal out there, and they came all this way. Then, get the 3 hires set up at computer workstations immediately. I need to see their trading skills in action. Right away. Wen Jia nodded, a flicker of admiration crossing her face as she turned to leave. Jiang Cheng's maturity in handling things was way beyond what she'd expected. It was almost embarrassing. How could someone so young, fresh out of university, be this savvy? The scions of powerful families really are different. Soon after, the efficient Wen Jia had handled the arrivals and departures of the interviewees. At her prompting, Jiang Cheng left his office and went to the trading workstation area. The 3 successful candidates were buzzing with excitement. Even though the company was brand new and the boss looked barely old enough to shave, the salary offered on the spot was impressive. A base of 15,000 yuan was top tier for Shijing, where the average income was under 3,000. Add in the full benefits package, health insurance, housing fund, weekends off, year-end bonus, and this was a dream job for anyone wanting to settle down after a stint in the big city. Alright, everyone. Jiang Cheng smiled. First off, congratulations on passing the interview. But, he added, shifting gears, whether you actually join the company depends on how you perform. No problem, Mr. Jiang. Jiang Cheng, a burly guy with a know-it-all vibe, grinned, thumping his chest. Just tell me what to do. Sun Jie, a quieter woman who was also a trader, nodded in agreement. Okay. Jiang Cheng logged into his stock trading account on one of the computers. Here's what I want you 2 to do. Before the market closes today, take turns opening positions to buy extreme intelligence stock. Sounds good. Jiang Cheng and Sun Jie glanced at the screen and sucked in a breath. 8 million yuan in capital leverage to 56 million. 7 times the leverage. Crazy. Mr. Jiang looked like a harmless pretty boy, but he was clearly a high-stakes gambler. Mr. Jiang, Mr. Jiang. Jiang Cheng's Adam's apple bobbed nervously beneath his beard. Scared? Jiang Cheng asked, lighting a cigarette with a smile. Of course not scared. Jiang Cheng gave a weak smile. It's just an interview. I'm just worried you're taking on too much risk. As traders from big companies, Jiang Cheng and Sun Jie had managed tens of millions before, but Jiang Cheng was on another level, willing to use that kind of leverage even in a mock trading session. It's my money. I'm not worried. Why should you be? Jiang Cheng grinned. Just go for it. My only requirement is that you don't worry about anything else. Just focus on completing the position as quickly as possible, using the lowest possible cost, and with the least impact on the market. Got it? Got it. That with Jiang Cheng's assurance, they both visibly relaxed. The boss was right. It was his money. If he wasn't worried, why should they stress out about it during a practice interview? Worst case scenario, they didn't get the job, so, game on. Ladies first, Jiang Cheng, the smart one, asked the bespectacled woman next to him. Sure. Sun Jiajia gave a polite nod. With 56 million to play with, she'd have plenty of chances to shine. After watching Jiang Cheng's position-building strategy, Jiang Cheng motioned for Sun Jiajia to take over. Surprisingly, the quiet woman was even more professional and skilled than Jiang Cheng. Her buy orders were perfectly timed, and she occasionally made small, subtle sales to keep the market stable. Jiang Cheng finally felt a sense of relief, although he'd traded stocks in his previous life. His skills weren't a patch on these professionals. With this dynamic duo, he could finally delegate the tedious stock market operations. Winking at Wen Jie to signal her to keep an eye on things, Jiang Cheng strolled over to the other new hire. The analyst, Zhang Wan, 42, had been working as a stock analyst for a major securities firm in Zhonghai since '94, a true veteran. She'd made the tough decision to resign and return to her hometown to be with her husband. Impressed by her experience and talent, Jiang Cheng had offered her a base salary of 30,000 right off the bat. It was even more than she'd made in Zhonghai. The senior analyst was definitely impressed by his deep pockets and aggressive recruitment style. Sister Zhang Wan, right? Sorry for the wait. Jiang Cheng smiled politely at the composed middle-aged woman. I've read your resume carefully. Now, I need to assess your skills. Ready? Ready, Mr. Jiang. Great. Jiang Cheng handed her a sheet of paper with the names of 5 stocks. I need you to analyze these 5 stocks based on current market conditions and provide me with a written analysis and your recommendations. No problem. The unflappable Zhang Wan nodded, took the paper, and settled in front of a computer, her expression focused. Chapter 50. You are listening at Mtlnovel Audio. The sky was a riot of sunset colors. Golden light streamed through the blinds, painting colorful stripes across the office's wooden floor. Jiang Cheng leaned back in his chair, a smile playing on his lips as he finished reading the detailed analysis report. He hadn't been wrong. Zhang Wan's analysis of the 5 stocks aligned almost perfectly with his system's predictions. Haoyu Pharmaceutical, the one with the highest potential gain, was especially highlighted. He'd definitely found a diamond in the rough. After reading the report, Jiang Cheng decided to build a professional analyst team around Zhang Wan. That way, even after his investment abilities faded, he'd still have a solid way to make money. Mr. Jiang, the office door swung open, and a tall, attractive woman in business attire hurried in, carrying 2 takeout bags. It was hot, so she wasn't wearing stockings. Her long, pale legs were undeniably captivating. Sorry to keep you waiting. Wen Jie's cheeks flushed slightly, likely because she'd noticed Jiang Cheng's gaze. A little embarrassed, she shifted the bags to cover her legs. No problem. Just put them on the coffee table. We can eat together. Jiang Cheng looked away, took the bags, and began unpacking the food. Okay, Wen Jie replied softly, her face still flushed. She waited for Jiang Cheng to sit on the sofa before settling into a chair at a respectful angle. Ahem. The silence felt awkward, so Jiang Cheng cleared his throat. Since you're going to be working at Qinfeng Capital, you can just call me Mr. Jiang like everyone else. But Wen Jie looked surprised. My job at Zhaoxing. Don't worry about it, Jiang Cheng said casually. Keep your position at Zhaoxing. Whatever they pay you is yours to keep. I'll pay you a separate salary from the company. Let's start you at the same rate as the other 2, a base of 15,000. 15,000. Wen Jie nearly dropped her chopsticks. What? Is that too low? No, Mr. Jiang. You've got it all wrong. That Wen Jie waved her hands. I mean, you're paying me too much. The bank offered me 8,000. This is. Okay, if you don't think it's too little, then it's settled. Jiang Cheng switched to his domineering CEO persona. His tone was casual but firm, leaving no room for argument. Thank you, Mr. Jiang. Just eat. Why are you bowing all of a sudden? Right. Jiang Cheng smiled inwardly as Wen Jie flusteredly tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. Wen Jie was serious, meticulous, and genuinely kind. She'd be a trustworthy employee, plus, she was beautiful and had a great figure. Just having her around was a treat for the eyes. As for anything more, Jiang Cheng wasn't thinking that far ahead. He wasn't uninterested, but he valued talent. He didn't want to complicate things with romance. If things naturally progressed between them, he certainly wouldn't object, but for now, he'd let things take their course. Boss Jiang, Wen Jie asked as they left the building. What are your plans for the company? Well. Jiang Cheng paused. I probably won't be in the office every day, so I'm counting on you to keep things running smoothly. We need to keep recruiting. The analysts will be centered around Zhang Wan. Let's hire another 4 or 5 people to build out the team. Jiang Cheng and Sun Jiejie did well today, but we need more traders. Hire some reliable rookies and have them train them. Got it. Wen Jie pulled out a small notebook and jotted everything down. Also, keep an eye on the front desk and the logistics department. If anyone stands out, let me know. We can hire a few more people if we need them. The company is just starting out, and you're already carrying a heavy load. You can delegate things like ordering lunch to them. Yes, sir. Wen Jie's heart warmed slightly. Should I drive you back to campus? Wen Jie whispered as they walked into the elevator. Zhaoxing gave me a company car to better serve you. Sure. Jiang Cheng had been about to refuse, but it was scorching outside, so he relented. He pressed the button for the B1 level, and they rode down to the underground parking garage. Wen Jie led him to a white car. A BMW 3 Series. Jiang Cheng raised an eyebrow, unimpressed. He really didn't care for the brand. In his mind, it was associated with being tacky, low-class, and nouveau riche. He sat in the back, and when Jie started the car and headed for Jiaotong University, the company was close to the campus, and in less than 15 minutes, the white BMW pulled up smoothly in front of Qinjiao University's dormitories. When Jie got out first. Her tall, beautiful figure and her professional attire immediately caught the attention of everyone nearby. She was elegant, attractive, and capable, with a mature air and a hint of innocence. The boys passing by stole glances at her, while the girls looked on with envy, under the watchful eyes of the crowd. When Jie walked to the back door and opened it with a respectful gesture, Jiang Cheng emerged, greeted by a chorus of surprised expressions. Holy crap, isn't that the freshman who played and sang his original song yesterday? Someone in the crowd recognized Jiang Cheng. Oh my god, he's handsome and talented. And he's rich? Life isn't fair. Do you think I still have a chance to ask him out? Mr. Jiang, if there's nothing else, I'll be heading out. Wen Jie gave a slight bow, polite and professional. Drive safe. Yes. Jiang Cheng nodded, ignoring the stares, and walked into the dormitory building. Unbeknownst to him, Zhong Xier was watching him from the shade of a tree, a thoughtful frown on her face. She'd just left the cafeteria and happened to pass by. She hadn't expected to see this, and she was completely stunned. Such a beautiful woman drove a luxury car to drop Jiang Cheng off at his dorm. What was going on?